Hi everybody, welcome to another video in my Intro to HTML web video series. In this video I'm going to talk about what elements and tags are, and I'm going to introduce three types of tags: opening tags, closing tags, and void tags. We also call them empty tags sometimes. So let's get to it. In the last video I talked a little bit about tags. I said that these things are tags and they open and they close. Well, we're going to get in a little more detail into what those are. Tags. Tags are things that tell a browser when a command is going to begin and end. All these things here are commands. They tell the browser how to behave, how to interpret the content that's there. Sometimes it changes the way it displays. Sometimes it adds some sort of contextual information to that content so that search engines can interpret it differently. I'm going to show you some tags. I'm going to put some tags around hello world. Tags start like this. This is an opening tag. Tags use these angle braces. Some people call them the carrots. I call them angle braces. And they will open and they will close. An opening tag just consists of a left angle brace and a right angle brace. A closing tag consists of a left angle brace, a slash, and a right angle brace. So these will tell us when a command begins and ends. This command will begin here and it'll end down here. But a tag is not complete unless it has some sort of command in it. Right now this is just saying that a command will begin and end, but it's not giving any kind of command. The command that I'm going to give it is the paragraph command, P. And then I'll close it. I have to put the same element in the closing tag. So it opens with P and closes with P. Now Notepad++ does something really cool. It does something that's called syntax highlighting. If I click on either the opening or the closing tag, it'll show me where the range of that tag, where it begins and where it ends. You can see me do that with body. You can see me do that with head. And I can scroll up and find the opening head tag. I've got the closing head tag there. This is syntax highlighting. You're going to use this to help you debug your web pages. If you are missing closing tags, you can always check to see and make sure they're opening and closing in the places where you want them to open and close. Now, this is not opening and closing where I want it to open and close. I want hello world to be contained in one paragraph. Right now, this paragraph tag stretches from the above hello world down below show up in the browser. So it's containing all of this text. We would say that this text is nested inside of the P element or the P tag. So I'm going to cut this closing tag and I'm going to paste it underneath hello world. P opens, P closes, and it contains hello world. I'm going to save it. I'm going to go over to the browser and run it, launch in Chrome, and you'll see that hello world has its own line and all the rest of the text is down below. It's separated by a little bit of a space. That's what the paragraph tag does. Anything that's in between the opening and closing paragraph tags are going to separate that text, put it all in its own block, and then put a space above and below it. All right? Now, I'm going to show you another type of tag. So I've got the opening tag, the closing tag, and then I told you that there's another tag called the void tag. The void tag or empty tag looks something like this. It neither opens nor closes. Well, it opens, I guess you could technically say, but it doesn't close. I'm going to put one in called the page break. The page break is going to break up a line. This is an element that you should use sparingly. It's meant just to put in breaks, but it doesn't have any semantic meaning, so we kind of use it sparingly. But this is the break tag. You'll notice that it does not have an opening and closing, so it doesn't do this, kind of like opening and closing tags do. This is invalid syntax for it. It's just got its own solo tag, and it's got the escape or the slash inside of it. So it's opening angle brace, element, space, slash, closing angle brace. That's a void tag. Void tags don't modify a range of content. I said the paragraph is modifying the hello world. That becomes one paragraph. The page break doesn't surround any content. It just shows up in one place and makes something happen at that one spot. That's the difference between opening tag and closing tag sets and the empty tag or void tag. Other types of void tags that you might find I bet you could guess what this does. I'm not going to talk about what it does right now, but I bet you can guess. IMG-SRC. See if you can figure it out. Other ones. HR, which stands for horizontal rule. I'll show you what that does. I'll save it, go over to the browser and refresh, and the line shows up. And you saw what the page break did. I put that in right after typo. It made a page break, so it forced the rest of the text down to the next line. That HR created this line that goes from edge of browser to edge of browser. All right, that's a little bit about tags. As I said, tags tell the browser when a command happens, when it begins or ends, or where that command is inserted into the web page. Like I said before, tags cannot work without elements. All they do is tell the browser when a command will begin and end. An element is the command that's given to the browser. So the word that's inside of those tags, or the letter that's inside of those tags, is called the element. P is an element. Body is an element. Head is an element. Img is an element. HR is an element. BR is an element. They all exist in their own tags. So oftentimes we just say this whole thing is a tag and include the element in it. That's fine, you can call it that. But just so you know, this part right here is not the tag, it is the element. And these two things have to work together. Remember, the tag tells us when the command is going to begin and end, or where it appears. The element tells us what that command is. Well, there you have it. I've demystified what a tag and element is. You learned about the three types of tags: opening, closing, and void or empty tag. In future videos, we're going to put a lot of these different types of tags to work. Thanks for watching.